Being from when I graduated to now, the 14 years, you can kind of see also how it progresses. So from being an actual engineer where I did drafting right out of college, and I did all of that, and then you know, to where I am now in the fact that I have, you know, a large team that I manage, and on the day-to-day basis of developing scrapbooking products. So that's the other thing that I always kind of look back over my years and of how I've done a multitude of things, which I think is one of the things this career path allows you to do. You know, because like I said, I have done coaxial cables and fiber optics to medical to scrapbooking, and which is quite the array. I don't know that I ever thought I'd end where I am, and I'm sure it's not the end for me, but you know, and in scrapbooking, I'm doing the plastic parts of the makers and the trimmers, and you know, so it's not like I don't dabble in the papers and that kind of stuff, but. So that is kind of my history. And again, where I am right now, you know, they love the fact of a liberal arts college because they know I have the background and the breadth of the philosophies, and you know, some of those classes that you wonder why I'm a science person and I have to take, in the long run, it actually does help you out because it helps you with the social aspect of communication with people and how to develop them and how to understand working with them. And from an employer standpoint, they do highly look at that. And even as, you know, I go through, you know, because I had colleagues then that just went straight to the U of M and did straight engineering courses, and I definitely can tell the breadth that the College of St. Ben's and St. John's gives you in that aspect. Okay, I think that's it for me. And this is my daughter Allison, who came with me
last summer, so I kind of had an idea of what it was going to be like. And my internship, by the way, those are really valuable. If you can get any kind of internship, doesn't necessarily even have to be something that you think you would do for your career. Just something remotely related is helpful because that shows employers that, you know, you're at least trying to go figure out what you want to do. If it's closely related, great, but if not, that's still okay. It just shows that you're, first of all, that people are willing to hire you for internships. That's something that you're, okay, someone's hired this person before, that's good. But also, you're going to gain valuable skills no matter what you do, just simply by taking direction and learning new skills on the job. But anyways, that internship was good for me. I, you know, did some typical intern work. It wasn't the most glamorous. You could be a sales engineer, a manufacturing engineer, design engineer. There's millions of different engineers you can be. So if you decide to go on and get like a mechanical engineering degree, there's really no limit on what you can do. If you're better with computers and you like writing code, you can do that. If you're better, you know, face to face with someone trying to sell something or help a sales rep make a sale, you know, there's something for everyone. So yeah, my piece of advice would be two things. First, if you're thinking about grad school, it's never too early, especially to start, you know, doing some research, figuring out what schools would be a good fit, figuring out what tests you have to take, and you know, be in conversation with some of the professors at the schools you're looking at. It's always a good thing. So it's never too early to start. And second, you know, don't worry about where you're going necessarily, as long as you have a general idea. Like my senior year, I was doing physics here. Probably didn't mention that, but I did applied physics and math here. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm like, I should probably go to grad school because I think I want to do engineering. So I didn't know if I wanted to do civil or mechanical, but I just decided to do mechanical because I thought I could have more options. And it just everything just kind of fell into place. Like I didn't really know a whole lot to begin with. Like, I want to do this, this, and this, but just don't freak out about the small stuff. As long as you know generally where you want to go, things will take care of themselves. So, unless it costs less money, right? You get 2 degrees, which I'm not convinced that 2 bachelor's degrees is necessarily better than just 1. Frankly, an employer is going to look at that and see that you have a bachelor's in something. You're not going to be impressed if you have 6 bachelor's degrees. You know, they don't really care. So, I mean, the advantage of the 4.2 program is you're really only going to school for 1 extra year, and you're getting a master's degree, which is clearly a distinguishable step above a bachelor's, right? People are going to look at that, and that's going to be impressive to them. Now, obviously, it's one more year of school, so another year, costs, another year, all this stuff, but
And with both of those, it didn't seem to be much of an issue with taking my physics undergrad straight through. And I guess one of the ways I looked at it too is a lot of times you can get funding for graduate programs. So if you're doing like research or teaching at the graduate level, you end up not paying for anything. You actually get paid to go to school. And so in that sense, it's not really any more expensive. And depending on the program too, so like mine, it's really only taking like a little over a year. And so in that case, it's also really not, it's more like a 4.1 or a 4.1.5. So as far as work and school, so I did the
Go
work.
into or what field, if you can get your foot in the door somewhere, and you were saying it too, even if it's remotely close and maybe not even, you're hireable, but I think a lot of us where we worked during college is where we ended up getting our foot in the door. Some of us have gone on from there, into different areas, but I think that's a really key piece if you listen to all of us, something to take away for wherever you end up going, if it's into engineering or not, is an employer, find that opportunity to have that internship or to get that experience, because a lot of times that leads to your first job.
Yeah, I don't know what the statistics are, and you could probably talk to this more as a manager, and Mary, I'm sure Mary could talk to it more.